The dust hits you before anything else. Not the polite dust of a dirt road. The dust of 10,000 horses moving at full speed across open steppe. It fills the air, blocks the sun, turns the horizon orange. And somewhere behind it, an army. Your army. You are not a soldier, not anymore. You are a general of the Mongol Empire, and the man you answer to is the most feared conqueror in human history. You were born on the steppe. Not in a house, not in a city. In a gur, a circular felt tent pitched on open grassland, somewhere in what is now Mongolia in the 12th century. The year does not matter much. What matters is what you were taught before you could read, before you could count, before you understood what any of it meant. You were put on a horse at the age of 3. By 5, you were shooting a recurve bow from horseback. By 10, you could ride at full gallop, release an arrow behind you at a pursuing target, and not fall off. This was not considered exceptional. This was considered normal. Every boy on the steppe learned this. The ones who learned it best were the ones who survived. The Mongol way of war is built on speed. Speed of movement, speed of decision, speed of attack and withdrawal. An army that can move faster than its enemy can think is an army that almost never loses. You understood this before you understood almost anything else. You grew up in a world where the weak did not last long, where loyalty to your clan meant survival, and where the greatest thing a man could become was a warrior trusted by a great leader. You were about to meet the greatest leader the world had ever seen. His name was Temüjin. He was not born powerful. He was born into poverty, captured as a slave as a young man, and spent years building alliances, fighting betrayals, and earning loyalty one warrior at a time. By 1206, he had united the fractured Mongol tribes under a single banner and taken the title Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. What followed was the largest land conquest in human history. He did not conquer through luck. He conquered through strategy, speed, psychological warfare, and an absolute intolerance for disloyalty. Generals who served him faithfully became extraordinarily powerful men. Generals who failed him, or worse, betrayed him, did not get a second chance. You have been chosen. That is both the best and most terrifying thing that has ever happened to you. The Mongol army runs on a system of 10s. 10 warriors form an arban. 10 arbans form a zagan, 100 men. 10 zagans form a minghan, 1,000. And 10 minghans form a tümen, 10,000 warriors under one commander. You command a tümen. 10,000 mounted warriors answer to you. You are responsible for their training, their supplies, their discipline, and their performance in battle. If they excel, the Khan notices. If they fail, you answer for it personally. Promotion in Genghis Khan's army is based entirely on merit. He does not care about your family name or your clan. He cares whether you win. Soldiers who showed exceptional ability rose from arban leader to zagun, to minghan, to tümen commander. You rose because you were loyal, because you were effective, and because you were smart enough to never put yourself above your Khan. That last part is the most important. Now, here is what you actually do on a battlefield. The Mongol army does not fight the way other armies fight. It does not line up and charge. It does not hold ground and push. It hunts. Your primary weapon is the feigned retreat. You send a force forward. They engage the enemy, they appear to struggle, and then they turn and run. The enemy sees this and does exactly what you need them to do. They break formation and give chase. They are celebrating before the battle is over. That is when the encirclement closes. The warriors who fled curl around on both flanks. A second force hits from the opposite direction. Within minutes, an army that thought it was winning finds itself completely surrounded, cut off, and destroyed. This tactic requires enormous discipline and trust. Your warriors have to pretend to flee convincingly without actually fleeing. The timing has to be perfect. You have rehearsed this many times. Beyond tactics, the Mongols use psychological warfare as a deliberate weapon. Before any major campaign, a messenger is sent ahead to every city in your path. The message is always the same. Surrender now and you will be spared. Resist and you will be destroyed. Completely. as an example to every city that follows. Most cities that resisted were destroyed. The ones that surrendered quickly were incorporated into the empire, their skilled craftsmen and engineers put to work, their administrators kept in place under Mongol authority. Genghis Khan was not interested in rubble. He was interested in a functioning empire. You have been given a campaign. Your target is a fortified city, heavily walled, well supplied, defended by an army that outnumbers your tümen and believes its walls make it untouchable. Your orders from the Khan are simple. Take it. The messenger went ahead 3 weeks ago. The city refused, so now it is your problem. You do not have the siege weapons the city expects you to have, but you have something they do not account for. You have captured Chinese engineers from previous campaigns who know exactly how to build trebuchets, battering rams, and incendiary devices from the surrounding landscape. Within days, your engineers have constructed siege equipment from timber they felled nearby. You cut off the city's water supply. You destroy the surrounding farmland. You wait. A city under siege eventually faces a choice: fight, negotiate, or starve. This one chose to fight. After 3 months, the walls come down. The city falls in a single day. You send a report to the Khan. You have done what was asked of you. For now, you are safe. Here's what success looks like. A general who delivers a successful campaign receives land, livestock, a share of the plunder, and the personal recognition of Genghis Khan. That recognition, a word, a nod, an acknowledgement in front of other commanders, is worth more than any of the material rewards. It means you are trusted. It means you will be given another campaign. It means your future is secured. Here is what failure looks like. A general who loses a battle through incompetence is demoted. A general who retreats without orders is executed. A general who shows disloyalty, who puts his own interests before the Khan's, who withholds plunder, who makes a private alliance with an enemy, does not receive a trial. The Yasa, Genghis Khan's legal code, is not a document of mercy. It is a document of expectations, and the expectation is absolute. You give everything. Your loyalty, your judgment, your life if necessary. In return, you receive power most men in this world could not dream of. The bargain is not unfair. It is simply unforgiving. There is something no one tells you about commanding 10,000 men. You are responsible for every single one of them. If they starve, you find food. If they lose morale, you rebuild it. If they make mistakes in battle, you absorb the consequences. A general in Genghis Khan's army is not a man who sits at the back and gives orders. He rides at the front. He eats what his men eat. He sleeps in the same conditions they sleep in. And above all of it, always is the Khan. He does not micromanage. He gives you an objective and trusts you to achieve it. But he watches everything. He has an intelligence network that spans the entire empire. He knows when his generals succeed, and he knows often before they report it when they fail. The pressure of being trusted by Genghis Khan is a very specific kind of weight. It does not crush you, it sharpens you. You make faster decisions. You tolerate less failure from yourself. You become, over time, exactly the kind of general the empire needs. Whether you survive long enough to enjoy that is another question entirely. So, could you survive being a general for Genghis Khan? Honestly, it depends. If you were loyal, absolutely, strategically brilliant, consistently, and fortunate enough not to be assigned an impossible campaign, yes. Some of his generals lived long, powerful lives and died wealthy men. Subutai, arguably his greatest general, commanded armies across Russia and into Europe and died in old age. But the margin for error was almost zero. One failure at the wrong moment, one perceived act of disloyalty, one campaign that went wrong through no fault of your own, and the same man who rewarded you would order your death without hesitation. Survival rating, 5 out of 10. The power is real, the glory is real. The rewards for success are extraordinary, but the standard you are held to is inhuman. The punishment for failure is absolute, and the man you serve is the most consequential and the most dangerous person alive. 5 out of 10. And that might be generous. If you made it this far, you have the mindset for it. Maybe. Hit subscribe. Next week, we are going somewhere even more dangerous.